Toys R Us, a store that I grew up with. Never really was like the go-to place for me, but I do have fond memories there nonetheless. They're faced with about $5 billion in long-term investment debt. That and the fact that they're up against the likes of Walmart, Target, Amazon, the successful retailers. I'm actually surprised Target is doing as well as it does. I think Target is for people who just don't like shopping at Walmart. But
Target is to Walmart what Publix is to Kroger.
There you go.
It's just nicer.
Yeah, it's a nicer experience. You go in. Although I don't know, I like the size of Walmart. I like going in and getting lost in that store. So Toys R Us, they're it's kind of strange because a lot of their competitors from back when I was a kid, like KB toy stores, that's really the only one that I can think of. KB was...
Oh my gosh, that was my childhood.
You remember KB?
Whenever whenever our parents would take us to the Opry Mills Hotel, it would be... There has to be two stores we have to go to, and that was EB Games.
Yeah.
Because me and my brother preferred EB Games.
Or Babbage's.
What's that?
Babbage's was purchased by Electronics Boutique, and together they became EB Games.
But yes, I loved EB Games over GameStop.
Well, now GameStop, now they're the same thing.
It's the only one. But it's okay.
It's still a nice store to go into.
I can deal with it. And then, KB Toys. I remember, walking in there, and they'd always have, they'd have stuff in the front that you could, play with that was, out of the box and stuff that you could, you could run around in the store and just play with it. And then you run to the back shelves, and they'd have a bunch of things. I feel bad for anyone who had to work in that store. There were a lot of kids running around and screaming.
Yeah, and it smelled like feet. But that's probably any toy store. And Toys R Us was always the bigger option, but since it was always kind of separate from the mall, we never bothered going in there. I would only ever go into KB. What they're facing, since they have debt that they are not really making a whole lot of money to make a dent in, they are filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now that sounds bad, that sounds scary, and it is kind of scary, but Chapter 11 bankruptcy is not the same as Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Chapter 7 bankruptcy means you're closing up shop. You're liquidating all of your assets and you're just trying to pay off your debt, but you are no longer functioning as a business per se. Chapter 11 means that you're kind of restructuring things, you're reordering, you might downsize a little bit, but it basically, I think it off-puts your debt payments. So that's where they currently are. And I have to say that although, they are competing with Walmart and Target and Amazon, I just don't know if there is much room for Toys R Us to exist as it does. Just to have a dedicated toy store where, those other retailers pretty much have exactly what Toys R Us has. And I do have to say, every time I have gone to a Toys R Us store and I have gone into the video games section, it's been a mess. You go in, and I want to say that the games are all in these, extra cases, plastic cases, so that you can't walk out of the store without, someone unlocking it or taking it out. No one has ever been back there, and it looks like a kid has gone in and looked at a game and then just thrown it back on the shelf. And that's probably exactly what happened. No exaggeration there at all. But things are unorganized, they're disheveled. They have I think one I went to, the displays were, they had they didn't actually move old displays out. They just put new displays in front of the old displays. So you'd have a display for something that looks like it had been there for about a year, covered up by a newer one. Yeah, it's like no one managed that. No one was managing that very well. So as far as gaming goes, it's not. You have far better options. I would definitely pick GameStop over Toys R Us any day to shop for video games.
I'd pick Walmart over Toys R Us.
Yeah, because you know that even though you have to get a sales associate to help you get the game. That's the only annoying part of that.
It is, but I can kind of understand where they're going with, because I had friends in high school that actually like went to a few Walmarts, and some of them in the poorer areas of Antioch, which there are a lot of. You'd ask to like see a video game, they'd unlock it, they'd let you hold it, and then the associate would just like walk away. I had friends that just like had like they had like disc kind of like those like movie folders where like you'd unzip it and you had like 20 slots. They would get like 2 or 3 games, put them in there, and just walk out of the store, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I just got Grand Theft Auto 5 for free when it like just came out." And be like,
they know they're not supposed to do that, right?
I'm sure they do. But
oh wow,
I didn't say they were good people. They're not bad people, but you don't have money, but you want to play video games. I guess you're just gonna find out whatever you can do to play video games.
My goodness.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess Toys R Us may have a better idea there after all. Yeah, and you know, stuff being locked up in something doesn't bother me a whole lot. Although I will say that is a little bit off topic, but Walmart. I went to Walmart where the Gillette like Mach 3 and Fusion razor heads were locked up. Like, and I actually asked the person, I was like, "Do you seriously have a problem with people stealing this?" And she was like, "Yeah, we actually do. People actually steal these." So that's just insane. But and the thing with Walmart, I mean, they have their bargain video games out in the open. They really only keep like the games that are still full retail price behind that case.
To be fair though, is there anything in that bargain bin that's actually worth playing?
Yeah.
I haven't found anything.
Yeah, I mean, games that have been... See, non-Nintendo games go down in value after about a year. So, if you want, like... I know I'm going to probably get shade from you, but if you want Assassin's Creed Syndicate, you can get Assassin's Creed Syndicate in the bargain bin for $20. But it's just sitting there out in the open. You don't have to... Or the PlayStation 4 version of Black Flag is just sitting out there in the open.
Now, that being said, it's a bit harder to do during the day just because they do have, like, Walmart has those, and Target might have them too, but I know that Walmart definitely has them. They have security guards walking around dressed like normal people, and they have people watching 24/7, like, through cameras, and those, like, people that look normal.
You don't know where cameras are either.
Exactly. So
just
you have people and cameras looking at you. So
it's honestly not worth getting charged with shoplifting. Just buy your games. Oh my goodness. So what do you think? Do you think Toys R Us is actually going to change their strategy up and emerge from this all the better, or do you think that their days are numbered?
I don't know, because I think it also said that they're gonna try and redo some things, and I'm wondering if what that means is they're gonna try and rebrand themselves, or try and just, you know, modernize themselves, because I don't see any kind of like Toys R Us commercials.
No, even during around Christmas time.
And, like, I will still see, like, if I'm at a friend's house with a TV on, I will see a Chuck E. Cheese commercial. And, I mean, at least they're trying.
But Chuck E. Cheese is still... They're still succeeding.
Yeah, but the Chuck E. Cheese commercials make me want to, you know...
yeah. They're terrible. Chuck
Vomit.
E. Cheese itself is like a horrible place to be. It'll give you a headache in the first 5 minutes you're there.
Well, also, like, Chuck E. Cheese, they remade the mascot, and the mascot makes me... I already have a problem with mascots. I wouldn't call it a fear, but I don't trust anyone that's in a mascot suit.
Well, it's the Five Nights at Freddy's thing.
No, it was before that.
Oh.
Like, I guess it is kind of a fear. I've been afraid of people in mascot uniforms for a long time, since I was like a kid. I actually went to a Chuck E. Cheese, and Chuck E. Cheese came up to me and tried to give me a hug for my birthday, and I cried and ran and hid behind my mom.
That sounds like you.
And the dude felt so bad. He went back in the locker rooms, changed out of the uniform, and came back and apologized to my mom.
Oh my goodness.
And she didn't know what to do. Oh, I feel bad for him, but don't approach me ever.
Just, little Maddie, go over there and play your Jurassic Park.
Maybe they'll try and do more digital stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, even Walmart is doing that. I mean, Walmart, they're doing shipping now. I think if you order, you spend so much money on an online order, free 2-day shipping, and you don't have to have something like Prime for it to work. So I think Walmart has stuff figured down, and they really need to... Toys R Us really needs to like hire some consultants or something to figure out how to make their toy store, because that's really all they do is toys, how they're going to make that last.